welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatiana. I'm a business coach and a mentor for women wanting to start their own businesses. I love helping you to get out of your own way to just finally start the thing that you have been wanting to do, or get back to the thing, because a lot of us, we've started some things before, but it's about really believing we can do it, right? And so today we're going to be talking all about something that I know intimidates a lot of us. It's something we shy away from, but it is one of the biggest parts of business, and that is the sales and the marketing, all of those things, and how that can really happen. Every business is going to be different, and so I'm not going to so much be talking about like specific sales, types of process types of things, but I'm going to be talking about ways that you can do it that is authentic to you, that feels very true to who you are, and just doesn't feel so salesy overall. So that's what we're going to be talking about: 5 ways to market and grow your business authentically. And before we get into the 5 tips, quickly, I just wanted to mention that it's important to know what is your definition of consistency. I've talked about this in so many videos in the past, but I really think it's important to realize this, because we can get caught up in what we're seeing everyone else doing, people showing up 5-10 times a day, when it's like, no, what works for you in your season of life, in your current situation of how often you're able to show up on your social media platforms, within your email list, just for your business in general. This is going to give you a better sense of how to approach your marketing and your sales strategy when you know, like, okay, I have this amount of time set aside so that I can plan for my business. I have this amount of time set aside so that I can actually get my orders out, or I can fulfill my calls and work on my services. You need to know these things before you go into the business, because it's very easy to feel burnt out, or to feel like you're not doing enough when you have to look at your reality of where you are in life. And so if you have a newborn, or if you have like a sick parent or something that really takes up a lot of your time, then in this season right now, I'm not going to be able to do things that I might have been able to do when I was like single in my early 20s living my life, right? There's always going to be different things that come into play when it's how we show up. And so identifying that before you really sit down to come up with any strategy, I feel like is important, so that okay, this is how I'm going to be able to be consistent. I'm going to show up this amount of times per week. I hear what so-and-so is saying over here about doing this, but I got to do what works for me, and this is what I can do right now. And I do encourage you to push yourself a little bit past what you feel, because sometimes it may be a little bit of fear kicking in or perfectionism kicking in. You definitely have it in you, and the more that you set aside just some intentional time for your business to plan out things, write out emails and captions, and batch record a few things, you will start to see that you're able to show up probably a bit more than you actually think. Not doing things so much in real time, but really having intentional time is really going to be that shift you can make. So really defining, again, what is consistency for you, and now we can get into our 5 tips. Okay, so first and foremost, tip number 1, I think it's just important with anything to have a plan, right? Like we need a plan in order to be successful. We need to know what it is that we're trying to get towards. And so having a social media plan, a content plan, essentially, just the way that you're going to show up and what you're actually going to do when you show up, I think is very important. So whether you sit down once a week, every couple of weeks, and figure out what you're going to be talking about to your audience, how you're going to be delivering that, how often, all of those things are going to really play a role within your social media plan. And I'll be sure to link a lot of relevant videos and links and things in the description for you of just different videos I filmed in the past that will cover some of these things. I've talked about social media planning before, but really finding what works best for you and doing it on a consistent basis. When I've been promoting my business, one of the things I found is that people really resonate with me more when I'm constantly showing up. Being consistent is just one of those things that is just kind of like a non-negotiable, It is a way that people will weed you out very quickly. Just like, let's say if you find somebody's YouTube video, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I really like that video. Let me go check it out. And you notice they haven't uploaded in like a year. Are you going to subscribe? Are you going to keep watching? Like, you may, but there's also this feeling of like, well, what happened to them? Or like, what's going on? And typically that is what we use as kind of like our proof to know, like, is this person legit? Is this someone I want to follow along with? Can I trust this? And those are all ways. So figuring out what is your strategy and how you can consistently show up. So as those people find you time after time, they have things that they can see as proof, as evidence, basically, that you have been showing up consistently. So for me, I love to sit down and plan out my social media Typically, I'll get a big picture around once a quarter, and then kind of right before a new month is getting ready to start, I'll really get specific on like, okay, what videos am I posting? What topics or themes do I want to talk about for the weeks coming up ahead? And then I decide when I'm going to do my batch recording days, which I've talked about on this channel. I love to record things as much as possible within like one day's time, and then use that for a couple of weeks. It works really great for being a mom and just having a lot going on. And so that is typically how I like to do my social media planning. But for you, it may be different. So just deciding what that is and starting to make that happen is a very big part of your marketing strategy, because you got to show up somewhere, right? And even if you decide to do ads or whatever it may be, all of this plays a role in what is your way that you are putting yourself out there online so that people can find your business time and time again. Tip number 2 should come as no surprise, especially if you've been around on my channel for a while. It is building an email list. I've done series on email lists. I talk about it all of the time. Having an email list is just such gold. I promise you that it is just this extra level of your business that you need to have if you do not already have it in place. Having an email list for me has done so many different things. It's really built even more of a connection with my audience on a deeper level, because it's something that just, we see within the inbox and what I'm sending directly to them. So I think it just really adds this level of connection that I absolutely love. In addition to that, having my email list, it has helped me to really grow my business, y'all, and really build it up in so many ways, especially when it comes to the amount of opt-ins and things I've created. And I personally love to do this with Flowdesk. I've been using Flowdesk for about 4 or 5 years now, and one of the things that I have really enjoyed the most about it is just how easy it is, how beautiful it is, y'all, and it has really helped me to level up my email game the way that I need it to be. It's very easy to use. They have templates, they have layouts, they have analytics, which is always really nice, especially when we're talking about marketing. It's like, okay, who's opening my emails? Who's unsubscribing, right? What is the click rate? And all of those specific things you want to know, especially when you're trying to see like these efforts that you're putting out, what is working. And for me, I've noticed with my email list, especially when I have my weekly newsletter, it's consistent. We talked about that constant showing up. So once a week, I'm sending out an email and I'm getting sales from that. I'm getting connection and engagement from my email list directly. And it's also bringing people into my list because I'm also having different opt-ins. I have freebies and things, challenges people can sign up for, and it all brings them back to my email list. First of all, you're not limited to the amount of subscribers that you have on your list, which is wonderful. They have forms, so all of your opt-ins and your challenges and just anything, it could be a wait list. I do that all the time as well. You can utilize the forms for that, and then everyone that signs up for the forms gets dropped into these segments, essentially, so these lists of people that can then be contacted later to let them know, hey, something's available, or just to be on your general mailing list. They have workflows and automation. So after someone signs up, there could be emails that are scheduled to go out to them in a specific sequence that you want, and even down to like the specific day and time or amount of days in between. Like I mentioned, they have analytics, and it's just very easy to use overall. One of the things with just tech and all of that stuff is it can be very intimidating as well, right? When you're just like, okay, I don't even know how to begin to use this. And so they make it very simple, and that is one of the things I've loved because I use it on a weekly basis. So it's just easy to get in there. You can click around. You can see all of the different features they have. They even recently added a checkouts feature too. So now you can even have people check out directly from one of your Flowdesk landing pages, which I think is also amazing. And I have actually partnered with them as an affiliate. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more and signing up, definitely click the link down below in the description so that you can get your free trial started and really hit the ground running with your email list. I promise you, when I tell you having an email list is gold, y'all, like it is truly the thing that you want to have, especially as just things change. Your email list is one of those things that you can just constantly control, no matter what algorithms are happening over here, no matter what things might be shutting down over there. Like, you have your list and you know that your people are on there that truly care about what you're talking about, and it is a direct way to get right to them. So definitely this is one of the most important ones on this list. Okay, so number three, I actually just got done doing a series all about this, and it is going live. I'm all about, again, building the connection, right? Providing the value for people. And I love to go live with my audience. When I'm usually in a good flow, I'm going live about once a week to every other week. And it is such a wonderful way to just get to know my audience and live. So they really get to see me, interact with me. I answer questions. I'm talking about different topics that are specific to my audience pain points and struggles and just things they're curious about, honestly. And it has been a wonderful way for me to launch as well. And so I actually did a little mini series here on my channel all about going live that you can check out. But the main thing to know about it is even if it's something you've never tried before, it's important to know that you have to grow. You got to get uncomfortable in order to grow. And so if you have not gone live before, I'm challenging you to try it because it's one of those things where it feels like it's way worse than it actually is. And once you do it, you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then a lot of people, they end up loving it and it's like, oh, I can't wait for the next one. So going live has done so many things for me. It helps me to, again, connect with my audience. But most importantly, what I really like about it is that it gives an opportunity for people to get to know me on a deeper level. I'm able to answer questions and interact in real time. And when I get off of a live, it definitely encourages people, and there's a replay. So even for the people that weren't able to attend live, there's all the people that can watch it after the fact, which is even better. So definitely try it out if you haven't already. I'm such a huge fan of going live. It's one of my favorite ways. And honestly, it's a very easy way to get some content out and you don't have to worry about editing anything, which I feel like is definitely an added bonus. So just a couple more tips that I wanted to touch on. Number 4 is going to be to share the behind the scenes of what you're doing. I think a lot of times we get caught up in this whole like things have to be perfect before anybody sees it. No one can know what I'm working on, like until it's available. But I feel like we do ourselves a disservice when we keep things to ourselves for too long and then we pop up and we're like, hey, this is available for you to purchase. Come on, click the link. And it's like people are like, okay, who are you? What is this? Like, why are you telling me about this? And they have no idea. But when you are sharing something along the way and people are getting a little bit of an into what it is that you're doing, it really adds this level of excitement for you. People naturally want to support. They're curious to see how it goes. And so even if everyone that is following along doesn't necessarily purchase, we also want our business to grow as well. And even for if it's a service, if it's a product, people will still support even if it's later on down the line. And so really sharing that behind the scenes gives people a lot of things. It gives them a chance to get to know you. It gets to show that you are human, even if things are not quote unquote perfect, right? Because they never will be. I know when I first launched my planner, that was one of the best ways to me that really got people excited for my launch and were ready to purchase my planner because I shared my entire process, from the moment of when I was like, okay, I think I'm going to make a planner. I don't know, to me really figuring out the ins and outs of it, to some of the setbacks that I had, the raw emotions I felt as I was finally executing it and putting it together, to making the very first one by hand. That whole thing was documented. And so I encourage you to document your process. It may feel like it's imperfect. It may feel like it's kind of all over the place, but that is what people resonate with. I think a lot of us are just tired of seeing the cookie cutter things all of the time and just the cute, perfect pictures. Like people want to see humans, like things that are happening in real time and what is going on. So that's why I love to share on this channel my journey, even when it doesn't seem so beautiful and perfect, because that is what I find that people resonate with the most. That's how I've been able to grow my platform, is just by simply sharing myself, my story, my journey, and not always feeling like I have to be arrived at a certain point in order to share. I always share a bit when it feels uncomfortable or where I feel like, ooh, maybe I could kind of perfect this versus like, no, share it in the moment. And that really gets people just a lot more in tune with what you're doing. And so I know that sometimes that can be a little bit scary because it's like, oh, I really want things to be professional or whatever the case may be. But I promise you, it will definitely feel different once you start to see the result. And so sharing behind the scenes, sharing your story, and just really giving people a piece of what you have going on that typically it would be off camera or something that people don't necessarily see all the time from business owners is another great way to just really promote your business. And it doesn't feel as salesy, because it's like it's something you're already doing. You're already packing orders. You're already working on things behind the scenes. It's things you're already doing, so it's very natural, but it's still educating people about who you are, what you're doing, why they should care. And it's one of my favorite ways to just consistently grow and build those connections. And then my last tip is to focus on one thing, y'all, okay? It can be very easy to get caught up in like, oh, I gotta be on TikTok, oh, I gotta be on Instagram, oh, I need to be on YouTube, oh, I need to be on this platform, oh, Lemonade 8, like all of these new things popping up, all of the things that have been around, and it just feels very much swallowing, you know, like it's just like, okay, I got to do all of this stuff, like how am I going to have the time? And so what I have found, it is really important to just have your one main platform. You do not need to be doing all the things on all of the different platforms. I have found success. I've seen many other people have found success in just having your one thing. Mine is YouTube. I love YouTube. And then I love to repurpose things that I do on my YouTube channel onto my other channels, you know? So whether that might be Instagram or my email list or Facebook or whatever it may be, a lot of my things, they originate on YouTube because that's my main platform. And so when you have that, it takes a lot of the pressure off for you to be trying to figure out all of these different algorithms on all these platforms. You won't feel as overwhelmed and just like stressed out because you're not trying to show up and be all of the things on every platform. And honestly, it can make the other platforms then become a bit more fun, you know, like just more casual, you know, when you're not trying to grow consistently on all of them. If nothing else from this video, I think this is one of the most important ones because it's very easy to become burnt out as an entrepreneur, especially a solopreneur when it is just you. So having that one platform to focus on, that one product you're focusing on right now in this season, those are game changers because it just takes that pressure off of feeling like you have to be selling out of all 10 of your items and growing consistently on all of these platforms. Like really sit down and figure out, okay, what platform is working for me? Where am I getting the most of my audience and engagement from? Really assess those things. What product is doing well? What have people been gravitating towards the most? And lean into those and really give yourself a chance to do it for a little bit. Do it for 3 to 6 months. See how it goes of you just focusing on one thing. It's so easy to feel like, oh my God, I gotta have 30 products. And it's like, girl, no, just calm down a little bit. Okay. Like, let's just, you know, breathe and let's just take a moment to focus on one thing, really grow that well, really understand it, perfect it, and then we can add on the next layer. That is definitely, to me, the recipe for you truly being able to do the things you want to do without feeling spread thin, which is what we do not want. We do not want burnout. We don't want that. We're not trying to promote that over here. And the best way to do that is to focus on one thing. So that is my 5 just different tips and suggestions for you when it comes to really marketing your business in a way that feels true to who you are, just authentically. I know that sales and promoting can just be very like kind of a little bit scary sometimes, but when you really look at the heart of it, it really comes down to being consistent, picking the place you feel comfortable on and sticking with that, you know, not doing what just because other people are doing it or just because it's popular, but what's really working for you. Having a place where your audience can connect with you outside of social media, with your email list. All of these things are going to continue to grow your business, which will naturally bring people that are interested to purchase and support you. So that was everything. Definitely comment down below if you have any tips or suggestions that you want to give to anyone. And also if you have any questions that might have come up as I was talking throughout this video, feel free to comment down below with that as well, and I will be happy to answer. Thank you again to Flow Desk for partnering with me on this video. You can find all the information to sign up for your free trial right down in the description. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.